Welcome, dear brothers and sisters, to our Orthodox channel. Do you know what an Akathist is and why Orthodox Christians love it so much? The word Akathist comes from the Greek language and literally means a hymn without sitting, that is, one during which the faithful stand rather than sit. It is a special form of prayerful hymn that arose in the Church as early as the first centuries of Christianity. The first and most well-known Akathist is the Akathist to the Most Holy Theotokos, composed, according to tradition, in the 6th century. It was sung in Constantinople as thanksgiving to the Mother of God for her intercession when the city was saved from an enemy invasion. Since then, Akathists have become an inseparable part of the Orthodox tradition. An Akathist consists of special hymns, kontakia and ikoi, which alternate. In them we glorify the Lord, the Most Holy Theotokos, or the saints. The language of the Akathists is figurative, poetic, and filled with profound theological truths. In them we encounter the well-known invocations, Rejoice, Alleluia. Through these words, the human heart opens to joy and thanksgiving to God. But why is it so important to read Akathists? First, the Akathist is a song of thanksgiving. We often turn to God with our requests, but do not always remember gratitude. The Akathist teaches us to give thanks for life, for help, for the intercession of the saints. Second, the Akathist is a prayer of glorification. When we read or listen to an Akathist, our heart joins the heavenly hymn. This lifts up the soul and helps us feel the presence of God's grace. Third, the Akathist is a spiritual school. In its lines, we find short theological truths, explanations of Holy Scripture, and examples of holiness. By reading an Akathist, a person learns the true faith and sees how to live in a Christian way. Fourth, the Akathist is practical help in prayer. Sometimes it is hard for us to gather our thoughts, and we cannot find words to address God. Then the Akathist becomes a ready prayer that leads our heart. That is why the faithful often read Akathists in personal needs, before the icon of the Mother of God, the Holy Protectors, or their guardian angel. Akathists can be read both in church and at home. It is important to do this attentively, preferably standing with reverence, because the non-sitting hymn is not just poetry, but prayer. It is not necessary to memorize the Akathist. It is enough to read it from the prayer book, but with a sincere heart. Thus, the Akathist is not merely a church text, but a living hymn of thanksgiving and glorification, which warms the soul, teaches faith, and supports us in difficult times. By reading Akathists, we open our hearts to grace and feel that God and His saints are always near.